Astro, yeah, right before went out there, somebody must have picked him up by the time I got out there. Because I was talking to, when I got the call, I was out on closing those doors. The owner, they're going to set it up. The owner, the pyramid, works on it, very good. So I'm worried about she friends and they fall. That's the quick thing I
All right, we want to welcome everybody tonight. It is December 17th, 2024. Regular meeting of Montgomery County Fiscal Court is now called to order. Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for the prayer by Brother Chris Cox.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for our community. We just ask that you would just lead and guide these leaders as they make decisions, Lord, in a way that will affect everyone here. We ask that you would give them wisdom and knowledge and understanding, Lord, of your word. And Lord, we just thank you for the season that we're entering in, God, that you have given us a gift that we so greatly appreciate. And we just thank you for this season as we just give you all the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Yes, sir. Will the clerk call the roll?
Danny Carmichael. Here. Ralph Charles. Here. Shane Parker. Here.
All right. So, just so everybody knows, this is the first time we've had a Montgomery County Fiscal Court meeting on WMST. So, we're happy to do this, and hopefully we can get the word out to a lot of people that don't have Facebook or or can't attend the meeting. So this is an exciting night. So with all that being said, fiscal court members have been given a copy of the November 19, 2024 regular meeting. Have y'all had a chance to look over those?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of these minutes?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Shane Parker. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. This time, are there any citizens who would like to address the court? Looks like we have Santa Claus here. So we don't mind getting a report on what's happening on the 24th.
Thank you so much, Judge, your clerkship, county attorney, esteemed commissioners, citizens of Montgomery County. I just like to give a logistical report to let you know kind of the lay of the land. We're T-minus 8 days and counting now. Usually I'll contact the air traffic control with Danny Hill over at the airport, get clearance to come in. We'll generally come in through the Winchester Road corridor, make our way around the bypass, hit the Judy area, Van Thompson, Kingston Pike, come around, Howard's Mill, Spencer Pike. We'll make our way over to 460 out that way, come back in. We'll service the downtown area, and then make our an exit out Levy Road. Looks like the weather report's looking pretty good. Should be I think a low of 29 degrees and high of 40, there's some chance of precipitation, so there could be some snow, so we'll be counting on the county road department should things be necessary, but we'll mainly be airborne. We do prefer to come in on rooftops for expedient ingress and egress, but we do remind our citizens to extinguish all fires prior 2 hours before our ETA, which is probably going to be around 2 a.m. to 2:15 a.m. in the morning. So if you could do that, that'd be much appreciated. If I do see smoke coming out of the chimney, not to worry. I do have a master key here. I can get in all the front doors and back doors, so we'll be in good shape. I did get a word on the way in here. There was a Christmas wish list that was found from 1966. Got caught in behind a wood lathe in our L's workshop. A local here named Danny Manley apparently wanted a Harmon Killebrew autographed baseball, transistor radio, and a slide rule. Much apologies. We'll see if we can get on that and still service your wish list and make accommodations for that. But other than that, everything's running smoothly. We do remind kids, please get to bed at a reasonable hour, mind your parents, and we look forward to a very orderly Christmas again this year in Montgomery County. This is one of our favorite stops.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. You have a safe trip.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right. Do we have any other citizens who would like to address the court? All right. Being none, let's move on to new business. Court has been given a copy of the Montgomery County Clerk's 2025 fee office budget. Have each of you all received a copy of the budget, had adequate time to review it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the County Clerk's 2025 budget?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Each year, the court sets the maximum amount the county clerk can spend for deputies and assistants. This year, that amount is going to be $700,250. Do I have a motion to approve the county clerk's maximum amount for deputies and assistants for 2025 in the amount of $700,250?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, Shane Parker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, the court has been given a copy of the Montgomery County Sheriff's 2025 fee office budget. Each of you all received a copy of that budget and had ample time to review it.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the county sheriff's 2025 budget?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Each year, the court sets annually the maximum amount the sheriff can spend for deputies and assistants. Do I have a motion to approve the sheriff's maximum amount of $1,104,000 for deputies and assistants for 2025?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. The court's been given a copy of the sheriff's 2025 state advancement application for their approval. This is the money that the state provides the sheriff's office to have enough funding each month to cover expenses. The money must be paid back to the state at the end of the year. Do I have a motion to approve the 2025 state advancement application for the sheriff's office?
Motion.
Motion, Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, moving on. The sheriff's office must close their books at the end of every year with a zero balance. Therefore, they have requested their December 2024 salary support payment be paid January the 2nd, 2025. This amount is $53,958.33 each month. Do I have a motion to approve the above support payment for the sheriff? Motion Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Of course, been given a copy of all county bonds for 2025. Y'all had a chance to review those?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the county bonds for 2025?
I'll make the motion.
Motion Daniel Carmichael, second.
I'll second.
Shane Parker. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, now we have a few board appointments. Victoria Orm's term on the Montgomery County Extension Board will expire December 31st, 2024. She has agreed to serve another term. Do I have any discussion?
I think she'll be an excellent, she served with the 4-H for years now. Dealt with 4-H, I know, as a leader of their different associations, and work with well kids, she's a former school teacher.
Okay. All right. So do I have a motion to reappoint Victoria to a 3-year term?
I'll make the motion.
All right. This will be on the Montgomery County Extension Board. Her term will expire December 31st, 2027. Have a motion made by Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Shane Parker. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. John Mailer's term on the Montgomery County Extension Board will expire December 31st, 2024. And he would like to step off the board. I would like to appoint Pastora back to this board. She's been a member of that board for a long time. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Pastora back to a 3-year term on the Montgomery County Extension Board. His term will expire December 31st, 2027. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Ralph Charles. I made the motion. Ralph Charles second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Moving on to the Solid Waste Board, Johnny Scott's term will expire December the 21st, 2024. Do I have a motion to appoint to this board?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to appoint Millard Anderson.
All right.
Him and his family's lived out on the Levy Road for a long time, but I know, I think he'd be a good addition to this board. Just knowledge of that area.
Do I have a motion to appoint Millard Anderson to a 2-year term on the Montgomery County Solid Waste Board? This will expire December 21st, 2026.
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Shane Parker made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill Roush's term on the Montgomery County Solid Waste Board will expire December 21st, 2024. Do I have a nomination for that seat?
Judge, I'd like to nominate Brian Bailey for that vacancy. He's got extensive background with solid waste. I think he'd be an excellent choice to put in that position. With that, I'd like to nominate him for that.
Ralph Charles makes a nomination to appoint Brian Bailey to a 2-year term. This term will expire December 21st, 2026. Do I have a second on Brian Bailey?
I'll second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Gail Wright's term on the Moundsville and Montgomery County Industrial Authority Board will expire December the 31st, 2024. We talked to Gail. I talked to Gail about this. I would like to appoint Rebecca Moore to this board. Rebecca's been part of NCTC for a while now. She has a background in business, so I would like to appoint Rebecca Moore. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion carries. Shannon White's term on the Reed Village Water District will expire January the 1st, 2025. Shannon would like to serve another term on this board. Do I have a motion for him, or?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Have a motion, Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. Moving on to item I. The court has been given a copy of a resolution regarding the use of marijuana with or without a prescription by employees of Montgomery County pursuant to KRS 218B.040. Montgomery County Physical Court exercises its right under the statute to not permit or accommodate the use of medical cannabis. Therefore, an authorized cardholder is prohibited from utilizing medical cannabis while employed by the Montgomery County Physical Court. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Shane Parker makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. The court has been given a copy of an addendum to the resolution authorizing the provision of funds for an additional $55,623.13 from funds received through ARPA for the purpose of capital improvement projects and maintenance and repairs to county-owned buildings. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion.
Motion was made by Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. The court has been given a copy of the sheriff's budget amendments for 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the 2024 budget amendments for the sheriff?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The motion carries. The court has been given a copy of the county clerk's budget amendments for 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the 2024 budget amendments for the county clerk?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Shane Parker.
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. The court has been given a copy of a resolution relating to forming a local film industry board to include Montgomery County, Mount Sterling, Camargo, Jeffersonville, and the region. The board shall consist of a 5-member panel. 2 members shall be appointed by Montgomery County Fiscal Court, 1 by the City of Mount Sterling, 1 by the Camargo City Commission, and 1 by Jeffersonville City Commission. Each member shall serve a 3-year term. Do I have a motion to adopt this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion carries. And just so you all know on this one, what I'll do is I'll go to each of the meetings over the next month to make sure they're aware of everything that we have in this. I'll read it over to them, and Chris will bring that to you probably this time next month. All right?
Those are 3-year terms.
Yes, sir. 3-year term, yes. All right. Next thing we have. At our November 19, 2024 meeting, we opened bids for replacement of the courthouse roof located at 1 Court Street. The motion was made to table this bid until all bids could be reviewed. After reviewing the bids, it was discovered that this type of shingle was in our bid request not available until until August 2025. The court decided we could not wait that long. Two other bids were submitted for alternate shingles, but were rejected as they were not bid in the request. Therefore, we started all over to advertise for bids again. We will now open to receive the bids that we received for this project. The first one is going to be Showplace Roofing. We did receive that one today.
Yes, it has been date stamped and time stamped.
Showplace Roofing. All right, this one looks like install temporary safety fencing, boom lift. Looks like their total bid is going to be $82,250.
They have the right signal.
They have the install Owen Corning starter shingles. Install Owen Corning duration storm shingles. Estate gray color. Let's see, we have the square footage here.
This one is downspouts too. Doesn't have 3 inches, 4 inches.
It doesn't have, it didn't,
I know we put those on the spec.
it doesn't specify, square footage on the shingle. It just says remove existing shingles, clean up and dispose of all debris. On the drip edge. They have omitted the sheeting. If any sheeting has to be replaced, they've omitted that out of their bid, so that'd be a change order. They did, let's see, they removed 3-inch downspouts and replaced with 4-inch downspouts. And to install leaf guards on existing gutters.
Next bid is going to be from Alan Turner. Let's see. Remove, replace existing shingle roof and slate roof. Replace back with a new Owens Corning limited lifetime warranty shingle duration estate gray. New synthetic underlayment. New drip edge. Install guards. Install 22 new. 22.
Roof vents. That's all number on the roof vents. Replace existing downspouts with a 4-inch. Yes, it'd be $103,900, but they are including any sheeting that has to be replaced. Both the 1x12s and the 1x6 tongue groove, they're including that in theirs.
Who we got next? Gateway Roofing.
Gateway Roofing. They are including the replacement of any sheeting, whether it be tongue groove or the 1x12, synthetic roof, underlayment, ice guard in the valleys, same shingle on sporting duration, 25 square foot of shingles. Installing the downspouts and all OSHA standards. And they put in theirs, doing it on the weekends, which I didn't notice it on the other, but that was in the specs. I think that was in the specs, because of course, theirs is, 119,000.
19.
And they have included their certificates of insurance. Okay, their bid.
All right. Our last one's gonna be Four Seasons Roofing. They've got their Eagle View out here. It looks like they have full roof replacement, includes main dwelling, tear off 101.28 square, install 110.4 square. It suggests a 9% waste yield. Pitch of the roof, 512 and 612. And their total looks like it's gonna be 50,000. Is that what you're getting? Am I right on that?
Yes.
50,000. So again, it looks like out of the four we have here, there is a huge difference in the top number, the bottom number. Keith, do you think we could table this so we can look at everything that's been bid?
I think you're gonna have to definitely put a trouble bill to review all these within the time you got here tonight. I think you're gonna have to sit down and really look them over.
Okay.
Which means,
Okay.
yeah. I assume that we can get a cost.
Do we have a cost?
We'll have to call
You
it.
get it allocated,
It's gonna be
it's gonna be allocated.
Okay.
So you'll have to call a special one before the end of the year for you all to vote on which one you want, but I just don't think there's any way you all can review those in the time you have your night up. It's gonna take some inspection on all those.
Okay.
We'll make sure we get the one that follows our big specs.
Yeah, this is in this, show place says it's gonna do it on the weekend.
Yeah, I think you just have to table it for now. We're gonna have to get them all set up on the table and do a checklist, go through everyone, and then, Commissioner Parker said, see which one needs to bid the closest.
Right. Okay, that'd be good. Is there any way we can go ahead and schedule that tonight, since we're Facebook Live and on WMST? Can we say that we can do it on Friday? Is that-
You're the county executive, you can call it.
Is everybody good with that? I thought, well, let's see, today's Tuesday. Do we need to 3 days?
We need 24 hours if it's emergency, we can do it in 24 hours.
Right.
24? How about Thursday? Does everybody go Thursday? You off?
What time?
What time you want?
We're not going on Thursday.
They did have to be,
Yeah.
How about 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock on Thursday.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make it work.
So what we'll do is over the next, next couple of days, we'll study what we have. We'll have a special meeting at 5 o'clock on Thursday. And we'll make that determination and we'll vote on it then. That'll give us plenty of time, right, Mary? All right. All right, do I have a motion to table this?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion to table from Ralph Charles. Is that a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. All right, fiscal court's been given a copy of the treasurer's report, manual checks written, additional vouchers, and budget transfers. Commissioner Carmichael reviewed the bills for December. If there are no questions, do I have a motion to approve the county treasurer's report and pay the bills?
Everything was good, so I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion by Daniel Carmichael.
I'll second.
Second, Shane Parker. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. Next, we'll hear from various boards, agencies, and hear from our department heads. First up, we have, can we get Senator Greg Evans to go first?
Be glad to.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that very much. And I want to thank WMST for being out tonight as well. I know it's sometimes a bit of a nightmare to do these remote broadcasts, and I appreciate their involvement in the community here. Thanks to the commissioner, to the judge, to the county attorney, and the clerk as well for indulging me tonight. I kind of wanted to come by tonight and just give an update of what's going on in Frankfurt. The 2025 session getting ready to start. So we just finished our caucus meeting. As a matter of fact, Representative Hale would like to be here tonight, but the House is conducting their caucus meeting now, this week. So he couldn't be here, but I'll do the best I can tonight. So a few of the things that we talked about in our caucus meeting last week that I expect to be issues or things, policy initiatives, I guess you would say, that we'll take up this year. Very first one I think that we'll take up will be an additional half-point reduction of the income tax. We'll drop it from 4% now to the 3.5%. The two triggers that are required that I guess they're self-imposed requirements to hit. We've hit both of those this July at the end of the fiscal year, so we will January 7th reduce the income tax an additional 0.5%. Look forward to doing that as we continue our trajectory to zero. Some folks say we'll never get there. I think we will. It may take a lot of years to do so, but the only way we're going to compete with surrounding states, in my opinion, on a fair playing ground is to be taxed in the same manner that they are taxed. So I believe zero is where we're going to have to be because we have states around us that are zero. Another thing I think we'll see a lot of talk about, and probably several bills filed, will be education. Last year we made a couple of different attempts to eliminate the DEI programs on our universities. I think you'll probably see that come about again this year. There'll probably be bills filed in both the House and the Senate to do so. I think last year the House had the more strict bill, the Senate had the least strict, and so there's kind of I don't know, they couldn't come to a meeting in the minds on which one to pass, so neither passed, which is often the way things happen in Frankfurt. But I believe they've already had some meetings and agreed to probably have very similar bills cross paths in the House and the Senate. So I expect we'll see that. I intend to continue to advocate for an osteopathic care facility at EKU. I think that's that total care process is something we need to look at. EKU is very interested in doing it. I've been talking with President McFadden and Amy Scarborough there. They really want to have that program, and I want to help them to get it. I think it'll be good for our area. EKU services a lot of this area, Montgomery County included. We have a lot of students that leave here and go there. I think it will be beneficial to them as well. So I think we'll also see probably a bill filed, and again, I'll talk about these things that will get filed. I'm not saying they're going to get passed. I only have one out of 138 votes, so whether they get passed or not, I don't know. But they're just initiatives I think that will be taken up. I think you'll probably see someone file a bill to include a vet school, veterinarian school, probably at Western Kentucky. That was filed last year. It didn't pass, but I heard the senator who filed it last year say he's going to file it again this year, so I would expect to see that. You'll also see a continued encouragement of collaborative efforts among universities to combine their research dollars that they're given through state and federal agencies to get more bang for the buck, more buying power, that they should be able to achieve more buying power with those combined dollars, those combined funds. So you'll see probably encouragement to get EKU with their aviation education program, and Morehead State with their aerospace program to combine their research dollars. I think it'll be beneficial to both, and it'll free up a little more money on the state because there'll be some money set aside in last year's budget that says if you collaborate your efforts, if you're going to work with another university, you're going to have the ability to draw from a different pool of dollars as well, which will provide that encouragement. Housing, we had a task force this year that met on affordable housing. I think you'll see several bills, probably some encouragement of communities to relax planning and zoning efforts to allow contractors to build more of these 1,400 square foot houses that are starter homes for people that, when I came up, that was the size house I bought. It's being fine with it anymore. Nobody builds them anymore. It's hard to build, and young people starting out in life have a difficult time borrowing money to buy one of those houses anyway. So I think you'll see some legislation, I think, that's going to help promote that as well. The task force that I served on was the Workforce Attraction Task Force. You'll see a lot of bills that'll come about that's going to try to encourage additional folks to enter the workforce. Currently, Kentucky is, depending on which study you look at, either 45th or 48th in the nation in workforce participation. We only have 57.3% of 16-year-old able-bodied Kentuckians either employed or looking for work. I mean, 43.7 of us are either at home on the couch or incarcerated or for whatever reason not employed and not looking for work. That's a huge number. So you'll see a lot of initiatives that we filed this year. Probably a lot of relaxing some, making it easier for first-time offenders to stay out of the jail and into the workforce, which will help you, and will help the workforce as well. If we can reduce that recidivism by maybe not treating that first-time offender who made a mistake like a criminal, they don't become a criminal. If we can encourage them to get back into the workforce and help them into the workforce, that's probably going to be beneficial. Now, if they fall a second time, then we'll have to treat them like criminals, and I don't have a problem with that. But I know a lot of people make a one-time mistake that if we can get them back into the workforce, they may take off and self-start and go right on. I think that's a good way to look at that. I think you'll see a push to expand the dual credit program in our high schools, where we'll continue to shift away from telling every student to graduate high school, you must go get a 4-year degree to be successful. I think that was a terrible mistake we made as a whole as a society in the years past, and I'm glad to see us shift away from that. Into, if a student wants to pursue a vocational track, we should help them to do that. We should tell them that it's okay. You can go make $100,000 a year as a welder or an electrician or a plumber, whereas you may only make $60,000 or $70,000 as an attorney or a business person of some sort. So you can make a fairly good living in a vocational track. So I want to see us continue that, and I think you'll see a lot of that as well. Another issue that I think is going to be a developing issue, I guess you would say, we had an ICE agent testify in front of us that said that currently when ICE picks up an illegal alien, oftentimes the detention centers won't accept them, won't take them, and understandably so, they can't, because that puts the burden on the counties, and they don't know who they're taking. They can't even get a name from them. They don't know who they're taking. So I think you're going to see an effort to work with the federal government to get ICE to pay for housing that inmate for maybe 48, maybe 72 hours, so ICE agents can get there to pick them up. Currently, a lot of times they get picked up by the local police department, can't get things figured out, and they have to turn those illegal aliens loose, no matter what their crime was. It happens all across the state. A lot of us were surprised to hear that, disappointed to hear it. So I think you'll probably see some efforts to work together to hold those illegal aliens long enough for ICE to pick them up, and probably with the incoming administration, probably an issue ultimately be deported would be my guess. I would not be surprised to see someone file another bill for exceptions to abortion. I think that's going to be another issue that will be a hot topic this year, a hot button issue. How that turns out, I don't know. It was filed last year, didn't even get a committee meeting, but I would not be surprised to see that as well. You'll probably see a bill filed again for recreational marijuana. I would expect to see that as well. How far that goes, I don't know. But, once we open the door with medical marijuana, that's the natural next progression of things, medical marijuana or recreational marijuana. I'll be working on a few bills myself. School bus safety bill that Representative Hale has carried 3 or 4 times in the past. It's a very good bill. He reached out to me and asked me if I would mind sponsoring it from the Senate side. Told him I'd be glad to. and that is it creates a civil penalty for running that stop arm on the school bus. It will allow our public school systems to install stop arms on their buses, which they currently can do, but there's no civil penalty associated with it now that can be used to pay that vendor for the camera system and the storage of that information also. So this bill would allow a school system to install the stop arms and negotiate a contract with a vendor that sells those cameras on the stop arm and stores the information as well, so they can hopefully be nothing out of the school system. It's a good bill. It's been filed in years past. It's passed out of the House every time it gets to the Senate and dies for whatever reason. I naturally have my ideas on why it may have died, but hopefully we can work around that this year, so I'll carry it from the Senate side, and if I can get it out of the Senate, I'll give it to David to pick up the torch on the House side, and hopefully we can get that through. Another bill that I'll file is one that will help the housing industry and the contractors as a whole. Currently, if there's a contract for real estate improvement of more than $500,000, the owner of the property can retain a certain percent of that, and oftentimes the contractor never sees it. That bill hasn't been amended since 1973. I'm going to hope to amend that to increase that number to $2 million. So if there's a contract of more than $2 million, then the property owner can hold out the retainage. And we can do away with doing that at $500,000. $500,000 in 1973 was a lot of money on a contract. Today it's not so much on a contract. A lot of money to you and me, but not so much on a contract. School board eligibility, I'm probably going to file a bill that will relax some of the eligibility requirements to run for school board in some of the smaller counties. Fayette County, Jefferson County, it won't impact those school districts, but it will some of the smaller school districts. I'm working on a bill that would do that. Working on another bill, it's called Aaron's Law. It's a bill that's been passed in 32 states, and it's not yet passed in Kentucky, and it helps to train some person in the school district to educate children when it comes to abuse, whether it be physical, sexual, or emotional, how to recognize it, how to communicate it to an adult, so that it hopefully doesn't continue on because the young person doesn't know how to communicate what's happening to them, or they are too ashamed to tell what's happening to them. So I'm working on that bill. I'm working with several groups, including Kentucky Department of Education, to get that bill right before I file it. So may or may not get that filed this year. It's a big bill. It's got a lot in it, but it's an important bill. It's one that I thought about filing last year. I knew I didn't have enough experience to do so, so I wanted to wait until I had the experience. I feel like I have the experience now. I want to make sure I get it right before I file it. So that's what I'm working on as far as that's concerned. The only other thing the last thing that I'll talk about are my committee assignments personally. Our committee assignments came out last week or week before one. Some of the committees I retained, some I changed. I will be sitting on the Senate standing committees this year for banking and insurance, natural resources and energy, transportation. I'll remain on state and local government, where I will serve as vice chair. I will go on to legislative oversight and investigations, where I will serve as co-chair, and public pension and oversight board I will serve on as well. So that'll keep me pretty busy. One last thing I want to talk about before I sit down. I know you guys are ready to go home and get dinner tonight. But, and I try to talk about it everywhere I go. It's a Senate PAGE program, or the PAGE for a Day program, for our young people who want to see what goes on in Frankfurt. If you're 9 years old or older, you can do it younger than 9, but you probably won't really know what you're looking at less than 9. But my grandson did it at 9 years old last year, and he was fascinated by it. And I had high school seniors do it as well, and they were fascinated by it. Come and sit on the Senate floor for a day. See what goes on. See us debate bills. See us vote on bills, and get to learn the process and learn what it takes to get a bill through. Anybody who's out there listening and wants to participate in that, I encourage you to call 502-564-8100. That's my office in Frankfurt. It's 502-564-8100. And just ask to participate in the PAGE for a Day program as a PAGE for me on the Senate floor one day. They'll take care of you. You'll be happy you did it, I promise you. I don't know anybody that tried it last year that didn't have a ball doing it. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be glad to take them. I know I see all of you all the time, but it's just a good opportunity to get together with you as a group and tell you what I expect to see in Frankfurt. 30-day short session. That's usually when we don't have to deal with the road plan, we don't have to deal with the state budget, so it gives us more time for just policy issues that will be filed. So I expect that it'll be interesting, it'll be fun, it'll be my first session, it'll be a whirlwind, I'm sure. So we begin at January the 7th, where we'll work for 4 days that week, take the rest of the month off to read the 1,000+ bills that will be filed in that first 4 days, and then we go back in February the 2nd or 3rd, whatever that Monday is, and finish out the session. So, thank you guys for your time, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do. I've sat in those seats, I know how difficult that job is, and I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Here's gonna be a short session, but it's gonna be jam-packed.
Yeah, that's exactly right, it will be fine.
All right. Thanks, Senator.
Yes, sir.
Jason?
Good evening. I'm Jason McCormick, Montgomery County Building Inspector. For this year, fiscal year, the permits I've issued are as this year total 46 permits, 34 of those being for new home starts, and I've done approximately 130 inspections.
Okay,
That's the big word I'm
inspections.
thinking of. So, yeah, that's 130 inspections. That's all I've got.
We appreciate you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Greg Bean, Emergency Management.
How are you all?
Good, you sir?
It was a pretty uneventful year. We did have a few road closures, about 10 missing people, all of them found okay. We did institute a search and rescue team, Gateway Search and Rescue. Dallas McKinney is the coordinator for that. We did travel to 4 other counties to help with searches using air drones. Had 5 tornado watches, 3 thunderstorm warnings, 1 tornado warning, numerous thunderstorm watches, it's always weather. Only had 1 golden alert this year. That's basically something going on constantly.
You all signed up for a grant, you got 100% of that grant, is that right?
Yeah, we'll be announcing that in January. We did apply for 5 grants for a search and rescue team, what we'll do. And work with Frankfurt is all 5 were approved, and we were 100% funded. But we should be announcing that officially next month.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Little hit myself. Thank you. All right. Ian?
Got some information for y'all from last year. Some numbers to throw at you. See what we've been looking at over here. Right, so total bookings for the year of 2024 was 1,720. I'm going to compare some years here for you too, looking back over some of this information. Last year we had 2,095 bookings, so it's approximately 300 less, and I know we still got a couple weeks of the year to go, so this is today with 1,720. Overall population for today was 202. We had 3 Bath, 1 Lewis, 139 Montgomery County, and that's 65 numbers up to 69 that record today. We had 4 more inmates go to the state level today. Next page, you got the recidivism rates for the last 3 years. Keith and I talked about it now. The recidivism rate, now that's going to be an overall total. It's not just going to be violations or new charges. That's going to be a combination of both. 2022, we had a 66.06 recidivism rate, dropped down to 65.33, and this year to date we're at 63.14. So it's a overall decrease of 2.19% in the last year as far as our recidivism. Next page is the average length of stay for the last 2 years. 2023, the average length was 40 days. This year it's 25 days, so the court system is able to get them through a little bit quicker this year, whether it be rehab, get them final sentence, whatever. And then you see over there you have the felony versus the misdemeanor lengths of stays. Population analysis by age summary for the 2024 year. I thought that was kind of interesting. Average male was 47 years old. Average female was 33 years old. So that's something that we kind of thought was interesting and we wanted to point out. Breaks down all the numbers there. Next page, you have your top 25 charges for this year. These up here, we pretty much know that one's going to be the top one. In your top 5, you got probation violation, drug paraphernalia, public intoxication, contempt of court, and then your failure to appear. Those are top 5 for this year. Average monthly population for the last 2 years on the next 2 pages. You had September, the lowest count in 2023, that was 204. The highest count was in May at 258, and the overall average count was 229 for 2023. You flip over to this year, July was at 193. Highest count was in January at 252. So average population this year is 215, so you're going to be about down total for the 2 years. Our current programs that we offer, this is the majority of them. This is what I come up with just real quick today. You've got your anchor management, parenting, MRT, thinking for good, GED, continued education. Continued education is going to start covering some of their college classes they can get once they get their GED, once they already have their GED or high school diplomas. Re-entry, we're working with Walker House, Pathways, Mountain Comp, New Day. We've got the Serve Safe. We just had 13 graduates in it this year. It's the first time we offered it. And the Serve Safe management is going to be offered after that once they get their Serve Safe handlers. So they'll actually get them to the restaurants, give them certificates, so that way they can start maybe doing some management in restaurants once they're out. Working with the health department and GRAC downtown, Gateway Community Response, we're building relationships. That's a program where we're getting the families back involved, getting the kids back involved with them as much as we can. So that, and then we got church 5 days a week, multiple churches that we offer. Our road crews, on that next. County road crew, they picked up 1,124 bags of garbage this year. You got all the mowing sites that we have there. We had 42 plus tires that we cleaned up just on the county crew. And that number's going to be skewed because of the free dump days and free tire days. So that number's going to be a lot higher if you go figure those in as far as what our road crews are paying. On the state side, the trash, we had 3,993 bags of garbage. We did site clearances. We did over 20 site clearances. And that was the same site clearance we did all throughout the year. So 20 spots we did multiple times. And then all the weed eating and the cleanups on, all the highway roads and all the state roads in Miller County. We graduated 66 out of our MRT class this year. And our MRT, that's the one that Lieutenant Williams teaches that she certified through the state. That's the one that the county gets paid back for whenever we have them graduate. Depending on the class, we get back $500 to $1,000. So we get that back. We have 7 in the MAT program right now. It's either Suboxone or any other MAT programs. With our resource fair, we've been able to gain 8 new partnerships with different rehabs and opportunities. That's going to take us up to 22 total for our next resource fair that we're looking to do in March. So I think that was a great thing. The inmates got a lot of information out of it. Like I said, we gained some new partnerships and some new options for them. So that's kind of our year in review.
Well, we do appreciate you. Thanks for everything.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Donnie, solid waste. Donnie Kenny.
We lost a little meetings. I've got 7 months. For the year, we held 4 free dump days from May to August, collected 221 tons. And we got a tank collection for the city, collected 7,500 pounds. also toured the Franklin County and Park County Animal Conference. It was interesting, but it's not so much bigger here. So, other than that, picking up stuff on the side of the road, following up complaints, and working with residents on open cases. I'm just doing some training and continue.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Good job. Adam? Good. Adam with our animal shelter.
Good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
So, all in all, I put together a report of our annual intake and our out. However, our calls to service, our after hours and on-call hours are gonna be this fiscal. Okay, so it'll be since July. Excuse me. But our total cats in 2024 to date, it's 518 cats in, 343 dogs in, for a total of 867 animals in the shelter thus far. We have sent 389 cats to rescue, 64 dogs to rescue, 1 cat fostered, 27 dogs fostered. We have adopted out 124 cats, adopted out 187 dogs. We have had 4 cats reclaimed, 42 dogs reclaimed, for a grand total of this year 884 animals in, 888 out. And with regards to last year's numbers that we have, and keep in mind that our shelter manager's software that we used was April last year. We got that software around April or so, but based off the numbers, we had a huge difference. So a 567 intake of last year compared to 861 animal intake from this year. So considerable difference. Calls to service after hours on call since July. We've had 3 aggression calls, 41 animals running at large, 10 animals either left in the vehicle or abandoned in a home. We had 12 bites, 23 neglect or welfare checks, for a total of 79 on calls. And from a little bit of a financial standpoint, thus far today, this year, we have received $6,990 in adoption fees for cats. We've received $15,610 in adoption fees for dogs, $1,000 in animal sponsors, $4,423.51 in donations, $1,048 in reclaims. And again, I wanted to note that last year's adoption fees for cats was $1,385 compared to this year's $6,900. Last year's dogs adoption fee was $3,688 in comparison to this year's $15,610. So overall, in 2023, we had $8,142.40 in adoption fees. In 2024 total in adoption, reclaim, sponsors, donations, we have brought in $29,071.51. Wow. That's all happening.
Good job.
Thank you all. All right, let's see. Eric? PEA?
Got just a few quick updates this year. Starting January, as with every year, we'll be out doing our updating pictures and all that. Just want to let everybody know. One thing we've noticed this year, when people are moving and have multiple properties, we don't get a list from the post office anymore for address changes. So I've been trying to put that out there. So if you all see anybody or talk to anybody, if you move and have other addresses, please call us, because we don't get an address change list anymore. So bills don't get sent out. From the state this year, they upped the amount on the homestead disability exemption from $46,350 to $49,100. Be approximately $500 savings on your tax bills based on the 24 tax rate. And with that, if you're turning 65 in 2025, come into the office, call us, we can do some of them over the phone, but call us, bring your driver's license or proof of age, and we can sign you up for the homestead to help you on that. And if anybody has any questions on any of that, feel free to reach out to us at the office. 498-8710, we'll be happy to help you, and get all the information that you need and get everything in. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mark? Mark Walters, our road supervisor.
We had a good year at the road department. We did get to acquire 2 new trucks. And we did acquire a new skid steer and a road liner at that time. It's my big difference. We paved nearly 30 miles of county road this year, which is really good. That's county roads and subdivision streets combined. We also seen the completion of the bridge at Science Ridge, and it come in on time and under budget. That was a big help. We did mow all county roads. We made 4 trips, and summer's area around 600 miles mowing miles. And with that, we do weed eat and all the bridges, all the signs. We did have some storm events this year, and we created 111 tons of debris. We had 155 tons of blacktop that we used to follow. We also maintained in front of mailboxes. We did gravel that, and that's over 200 miles of road we maintain. We oversee the distribution of commodities last Monday and every month. And that's pretty big. It's a pretty big undertaking, but we have some help with that. And we did all that this year with no injuries and no major accidents. It's a pretty good year.
We appreciate all you do. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Chief Mosby?
Good evening, everyone. Been a busy year. It's winter time, so it's our busiest time of the year for us for the fire department. Everybody's going to start using auxiliary heating sources and leaks to emergencies. Of course, it's flu season, and that picks up ambulance runs as well. So this is always busy for us as we close out the year. Kind of what's going on with us right now, we're getting ready to take delivery of a new ambulance, which is supposed to be here in February. It's about 2 months behind schedule, like everything else in the world is. So we hope that it shows up the 1st of February because it's desperately needed. We're also in the early process of looking at purchasing a new fire engine for the county. That's about a 3-year process right now. So if I can figure out funding and then get into contracts and then build time, it's about 2 years on the build time for the truck right now. So it's kind of our long-term project, but it's just now getting underway. Staffing, which is always an issue for us, we're short 2 paramedics and 2 EMTs, so we're down 4 employees total. But on the good news is that we're up about 20 volunteers. So that's fantastic news because that's typically it's a kind of a dying thing of volunteerism in the United States. And so we're really proud of those individuals that have stepped up and helped the community. We graduated 6 advanced EMTs a couple months ago. And tonight we're doing entry tests for an EMT class that we're going to be hosting, which is free to our volunteers. So there's no cost for them if they want to take it. And it's also open to the public.
And we have a handful of people that are doing that, and we're just charging the price of those testing kits, so it's $250. So cheapest EMT classes they can take, I guarantee that. There are 22 people there tonight testing to try to get in, so we're hoping that they all make it through, and then we'll put them all in the class. So that'd be really good for the community for sure. Run volume wise, the fire department and EMS combined did 5,961 runs up to today. 1,373 of those are on the fire side, with 106 of those actually being fire that had to be extinguished in some way. The ambulance service did 4,588 calls through today. And just kind of a little breakdown of those is, breathing problems, which is our highest thing that we're seeing right now, was 453 of those runs for breathing problems. We had 52 cardiac arrests, 271 chest pains, 399 falls, 344 motor vehicle accidents, and 83 overdoses. And then our building inspection program, they inspect 396 commercial businesses for the year. So it's been fairly busy for us, but it always is. And the one thing I always point out is our average response time in Montgomery County for this year was 7 minutes and 17 seconds, which is fantastic. You dial 911 in under 10 minutes, somebody shows up at your door. And there's not a lot of communities who can say that. Our worst response time for the entire year was 36 minutes. That happened 4 times for the entire year. So that's a rarity for me, because Montgomery County does have a lot of rural areas. So we're pretty excited about things and the way things are going, but we're just hanging in there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Y'all be safe.
Thank you all.
All right. So can we get Sheriff Charles?
Thank you all. It's a marathon meeting tonight, I believe. Currently, we are sitting at 85.5% of our tax collections for a total of $15,588,000 collected of the tax base. The next numbers I'm going to give you really quickly. Bear in mind they're for 11 months, not for 12 months, because we haven't finished December. So, for instance, our total calls are 13,196 calls for service. You can add about 1,000 to that to get the correct number for the year. We had 2,821 traffic stops. We've made 846 arrests and served 2,131 civil papers this year. That's all with the current staff we have, which is the smallest we've been in quite a while. We have one graduating from Academy, Deputy Kelsey Holland, on Thursday, and we have a Deputy Jeremy Purvis will be starting after the first year in the Academy to bring our manpower up. Our award winners this year for Governor's Occupancy Award was Dalton Hayes, and our DUI Enforcement Award winner was Kaz Grass Jr. And like I said, make this quick so we can go. But I would like to take this moment to bring up a young man who was awarded this year, and I had to tell him so he'd be here, is our Deputy of the Year. This is a peer-driven award that's only voted on by the other deputies. Administration has nothing to do with this. This is what his co-workers think of it. And that's the highest honor you can get. So, Troll Cox, Deputy Troll Cox, if you step up, he is our 2024 Deputy of the Year award winner. And I wanted to introduce him to you, and I'll give you his plaque so he comes. And Mr. Charles told me to make this quick, and that's why I'm talking quick. You know how well I like to talk, so we'll be here all night. So, gentlemen, this is Troll Cox. Do you have anything else for us?
Congratulations.
He has done us a wonderful job. He is well liked by his fellow employees, and his work ethic is beyond reproach.
We're glad to have you.
Yes, sir. Be safe.
Any questions?
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Congratulations. And now we have our county treasurer, Ms. Mary Wilson.
All right.
Well, I just want to do a financial update. Monthly, you can see that I gave a financial comparison from November 23 and 24. Our revenue is at 18% and our expenditures are down 30%. Now, there's reasons behind those. Our revenue's up because we sold the Finner house, and that added $265,000 plus to that revenue for the month. Then I gave you a year-to-date comparison for this time last year of 23 versus 24. Our revenue is at 9.7% and our expenditures are up 10.8%. So a lot of we're spending some of our federal grant funds, which is the ARPA funds, so that contributes to some of that. And then the revenue also contributes to opioid money coming in this year and the sale of the house and different things can play a role in the differences in those percentages there. I gave you a year-to-date on the general fund, the road, and the jail. So how much revenue we've received from those three funds. Those are our main funds. So year-to-date and the expenditures to date. So you can see we should be running in around 50%. And if we're higher on revenue, then that means, that we've taken in more than what our actual budget allocates for. We talked a little bit about that, the bid for the courthouse roof. And so that is so important because we're looking at our ARPA funds, and that's our federal grant funds that we've received. And this is the time that we have a deadline to meet. So that deadline is December the 31st. We have to obligate all of the remaining funds in order that we do not have to send them back to the U.S. Treasury. So we never wanted to do that for a county, so we want to utilize those funds to the greatest ability that we can. And we have used quite a bit of funds to, we've had about 15 projects or more throughout. And so we're going to be remaining only now with 4 open projects. And that, I gave you a list of those. We did that addendum to bring $55,623 back into that capital improvements for county buildings. But we have a sanitation project. We have $1 million there. We have a senior citizens building that we're building. That's $1,250,000. We have a broadband project that's $854,722. And then we have the county building line that we have about $161,000 in remaining. Now, when we obligate, we know that we have to have that special meeting that we're going to do to allocate those funds for the roof. So approximately based on what you all said tonight, it can be pretty broad or it could be closer to the $161,000. We've also been working on replacing a lot of the flooring in the carpets or the tile or the laminate in the majority of all of our county buildings. So we have gotten the estimates to finish off that money using that ARPA money to replace some flooring to continue those projects through. And then we will be there will be reporting on ARPA in April to report all of these projects, what's closed, what's open, and then that'll kind of get you completed for the year on that. So you'll have till 26, once the project's obligated to 2026 to use those funds. Our jail combined grant, that is finished for the calendar year of 24, but that is another grant that will continue through 2025, and we'll start getting reimbursements again on that. I give you a month-to-month report, an Excel spreadsheet, so you can see how the jail is utilizing those funds. And then we had open enrollment for employees that have an HRA that waive their health insurance, and that's just been completed, and we finished that with those employees. Again, we sold the veteran house on November the 19th. Our final net receipt was $265,587. So we hope that our new senior center will be under construction, hopefully by spring or maybe even before. It looked like that this morning he said that we're going to start bidding that out, construction costs, or gateway ad will. So that'll be a great way to be able to utilize some funds. So we have the ARPA funds first that'll be appropriated first for that veteran house, or for the new senior house. But then we also have $377,761 that's in our actual senior center account now that can also be utilized, whether for the building project or just to operating costs once that new center is open. And then the total opioid settlement funds that we've received so far is $650,859. So those funds have not been allocated, but we are working on a type of contract to accept for entities that are wanting to use those funds. And I think the jail is working on a project to be able to utilize those funds for that opioid abatement and training and education. So, any questions?
Thank you, we appreciate you. So, I'm so proud of all of our departments, department heads, the work that we do every single day. I'm very proud of you all, and just keep up the good work. I do want to thank WMST for being here with us tonight. I know y'all had a couple things going on, and we've been able to air this for everybody. I want to thank everybody that's listening on WMST, everybody on Facebook Live. Thank you all for tuning in. I want to tell everybody Merry Christmas. With all that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a motion, Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second? Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. This meeting is adjourned. Radio will now go back to WMST for some basketball action. Roll Drive.
Yeah.